Masters.
Yeah. I'll do a thumbnail later. I'm fucking slammed today.
Yeah,
I'm busy. Not to mention trying to tennis needs to really fight.
I'm seeing it is fighting.
It's yeah, I mean after losing 10 units in the third day, it's has to fight.
it
It has no excuse.
really had to go through the hoop on the hard course then.
Yeah, it did. It just can't be Sebastian Corda beating Alcaraz. That's not a result I saw as a possibility. But
I mean, that's like Spieth coming back from 3 with 5 to play at Augusta
against Scheffler.
against Scheffler, exactly.
Yeah. No, but not even that. It's like Spieth doing that. And imagine they're tied with 9 to play, and then or Spieth's up 2 with 9 to play, and then down 3 with 4 to
Yeah,
play, and then Scheffler goes bogey bogey to lose.
yeah.
Like just an unfathomable result.
Oh no, I stopped paying attention to that bet when Alcaraz won the second.
Oh, I
I
it
put it
was
away in the
it
back of
was
my
it, it
brain.
was four it was the break point was the first time I was worried.
What was that
And
in the third set?
like to get to 4-3. Like that was the first time that I was worried in the third set.
Yeah.
So, all right, it's up. We're live.
Good evening to
Good
all.
evening, everyone. Gonna get this up on YouTube. If you can get it up on Twitter, we
Yes.
are discussing some golf. We're gonna start doing our content a little bit differently in terms of golf. We're gonna start doing shorter videos for outrights and just outrights, and then talking more discussion based on episodes like these. So always good to be in the house with Mr. Schlaber.
Likewise to
Patriot.
Mr. Blute.
Yeah. Congratulations, Mr. Schlaber, on your weekend on the hard courts, on the hardwood, I should say.
Yeah, the hardwood. It was a really, as you were just discussing when we were about to jump on, how Sebastian Corda beating Alcaraz was an unfathomable result.
It was a
16
big
units,
hit. It was a big hit for the scratch gamblers to
yeah,
take.
but 16 units on the courts over the first 4 days of March Madness was, I'd say, even more unfathomable.
It was pretty unfathomable. We know that you're March.
I am March, but
I didn't know March had that much potential.
I didn't know I was this fully inside of March.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I didn't see that as a, especially with just, I mean, it took a lot of guts too, just knowing your recent collegiate performance over the last year. Um,
The collegiate grass was not really
it's
special.
almost like comparable to say, um, I don't
Turn
know.
it into a golf analogy.
Yeah, it's like it would have been like uh Spieth if he had won like the first event of the year this year, like going a full year without contention and then just winning in his first start back a
Winning
year
the
later.
century. Yeah.
Because you weren't in much winning contention since last March. So it
No,
had
no.
to.
It was a tough football season. It was a
It was.
disastrous football future season. Um,
Well, the ice is got to go tonight as well.
yeah, it's got to go on the ice. It's got to go on the golf course.
It's got to go
Probably
on the golf
it's
course, but it's really got to. The ice
yeah.
is facing a challenge that it's. I mean, the ice is famous for overcoming incredible mountains. Um,
This is one of the heftier mountains.
this is Everest. Um, so I I like to believe we're a closing team. I still have faith um, that we are, but there's no doubt that
It's been a
um,
rough 3 weeks.
it's been a really rough 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's well
So
said. It's well said.
yeah,
Um, where was I going to start off? So we can start off, yeah, phenomenal week in March Madness, but we're here to talk some golf and then a lot of Masters discussion. Um, so Matt Fitzpatrick wins. Should we address the elephant in the room? How I'm not going to let myself into this because I kind of pushed back when you said this last week. You took the flame, the torch on the TikTok and paraded this that Matt Fitzpatrick was not going to win anytime soon. To be fair, you said he was going to play decent heading into the summer, and then he was going to win in the summer. But I do believe the word loser was involved multiple times.
It was.
Yes, it was. It was okay. I don't know if choker was involved there. That might have been more internal discussions. But your thoughts on Matt Fitzpatrick's really, I don't want to say dominant win because it was a one shot victory when he made a 20 footer on 18, but it was kind of as sweat free as a one shot victory gets with how well he hit
It
the
looked
ball.
like he was gonna win all day.
Yeah, it really did.
Um, and it was weird because like I didn't think it was actually gonna like I don't know, I didn't think that he was going to necessarily um run away with it like ever in the entirety of the day because I watched all of it. But I think that the thing that really did it for me was he didn't really make anything on Sunday. So I kind of just expected that to continue, knowing his recent few weeks, and it didn't. So I was wrong. I was incorrect, and I will take accountability for that because this page is not wrong on the golf course very often.
And
Um,
when we are, we're accountable.
we are. We're accountable. We're accountable Patriots.
We're the most
So
accountable.
is what it is. Moving on.
Yeah.
Most of my
It,
takes still reign supreme. So
it really is insane how elite of a ball striker Matt Fitzpatrick is. He's always been an elite ball striker, but the approach game has been near this level many times in his career. The off the tee stuff, and it was really the same at the players, and it's just carried over here. How no doubt about it, it is when he's on the tee box, club twirling it really as soon as possible. I think he has a challenge within himself of how quickly can I club twirl this one? Can I do it quicker than when I did it on last tee shot when it splits the middle of the fairway? Can I do it before the apex? It's remarkable how good he is off the tee and how like for a non-swaggy looking guy, how swaggy the club twirls are looking. If you look at his grid on data golf, like the 5 point grid, he's a slightly above average uh, distance driver. Everything else, there is a considerable gap between himself and tour average. He's an elite player. He's up to 6 now in data golf. Masters, obviously, what we're going to talk about in the next few minutes. I don't know if I love his chances at the Masters. He only has 2 career top tens there, but Shinnecock and the Open, I'm like damn near close to guaranteeing he has. I'll say like I'm already going to guarantee he's within. He's going to be in the final 2 groups on Sunday of one of those 2 majors. Guarantee.
those are his golf courses, and we watched him win a major in person, his only major. So
Yes.
we know what he's capable of. Um, which stinks because my opinion on Matt Fitz was really high for a long time. And the last few weeks of just losing tons of money on him is what got me saying the nasty things I have been. So I wish I could go back, take those back because life is more fun when you're rooting for Matt Fitzpatrick, I think.
Yes, I would agree.
He
It's
is an
weird.
enjoyable, proper player to watch. Proper is a really fine term for him, which he's
It's
used
really an
multiple
accurate
times.
term.
So I'm not going to apologize for changing my stance and agreeing with you that he is one of my heavy favorites to win at Shinnecock. I really just don't think the. I mean, I'd love to say that he'll win an Open. I just don't think the golf gods will let cross-handed chipping bump its way around links golf courses. I don't think old Tom Morris would have anything. I think he'd be disgraced, and I think he'd crawl out of his grave to make sure that was stopped. So yeah, until he stops doing that, I'm not gonna give him the Open. But Shinnecock is just he'll contend there. Um, so yeah.
couldn't have said it better myself. Um, maybe, maybe Matt Fitzpatrick. Maybe this will get across the desk of Matt Fitzpatrick, one of his team members, and to have a chance to win the Open. Because I do agree, Tom Morris just will not let that happen. Maybe he'll just Texas wedge it around Birkdale the entirety of time.
I do have a great update to present to you, which is off topic, but the hard courts died for a second. Um, but Sinner just broke Mickelson while serving for the set to keep in straights alive. So
It's great to hear for all those
that,
tennis
yeah,
fans out
Mickelson
there.
just collapsed to the ground. The reason why I brought that up is because that's just about the only collapsing to the ground that we'll see out of Mickelson until he falls on his knees at Augusta, because I saw a lot of great things from Phil Mickelson in South Africa this week from what I was seeing. I didn't see what he shot in the final round, but I saw he was playing well early.
Yeah, he had two actually really good rounds and then two pretty horrific rounds, which honestly I'll take. It was a shit easy golf course. So I think he shot like -7 and -4 in two of the days, and then like even and then four over. I think he shot like
Yeah.
-7 total. Um, yeah, a few other players to touch on. We're gonna, of course, this is a heavy Jordan Spieth channel account, fans, things of that nature. I want to run this take by you that I had following the Valspar for Jordan's performance. I said that he was pretty clearly, in my eyes, the best player in this tournament for about 90% of his swings. And the fact that those 10% of swings are still there, to have him lose by 5 in a field that was led by Brandt Snedeker with 6 holes to go really disheartened me. Um, but then I brought it back around and saying I love his chances more so after this week than I did beginning of the week for Augusta.
I have crossed Jordan Spieth off at the Masters after um, the way that the Florida swing went for him. I thought that he found incredible ways to not contend with the amount of good that there was. There was bad too, but basically every club in the bag was good at least once. And I'm not saying good, great, at least once, because he drove the
No, great,
ball
yeah.
fantastic at the players from what I saw
No,
statistically.
no,
Or
Valspar.
Valspar, yeah. Was it this week?
Yeah, he drove the ball terribly at players.
No, maybe I was thinking. Yeah, actually, you're right. Yeah, yeah, it was this. So yeah, so Valspar, driver, putter. I mean, I'll give that to the Valspar and a few other events, just because I think
The
that,
putter, the putter has been great all season long. It's just that the last two tournaments, it's had one
yeah,
disastrous day.
it's just pretty. I think it's a guarantee now that we've reached the state of Jordan Spieth where he's not going to go 4 rounds in contention and not miss a putt you can't miss.
It's well
Even if
said.
he's going to make putts that he doesn't need to make, he's going to miss a putt you can't miss. And he missed two of those on Thursday. And the reason why I'm crossing him off is because I think his golf swing is actually very close to being like
I think it's
really,
there. Like I think
really
it's there.
good.
I think
Like
it's there.
there's still too many bad swings, I think, but the good is really good. Um, and I'm not going to give Spieth the irons until I see him hit those irons when he's in deep, deep contention, because he was in deep, deep contention on Thursday and Friday. He very much was in that golf tournament. He never got below, even though, yeah, he could have ran the tables and made those putts. I mean, he was still like 80 to 1. Um, so I want to see those irons not collapse like they have on the Florida swing when he's
I don't.
somewhat in the tournament. The good is really good. There were some pretty incredible swings this week, especially on Saturday and Sunday. But Sunday specifically, obviously. But I just don't think he's close to winning. I really don't. I think I think there is a large mental hurdle that he is very far away from
I
eclipsing. And
I agree with
I
and
could
disagree with
see him,
you.
hold on, I could see him theoretically winning this year in a Valero fashion where he's just too good and can get away with the mentals because the putter works in his favor. You can't win a major like that, and you certainly can't win Augusta like that. So for that reason, I have crossed off Jordan Spieth's chances at the Masters. I think there is a very high percentage chance he finishes top 12. Um, but I don't really see a path from here to a victory, no matter how he plays at Valero.
I agree with most things you said. I'll say, like, when you said he's not close to winning, I think it's a weird dynamic of he is close to winning, but the one thing that's holding him back from winning, which is that mental hurdle, I don't think he's close from overcoming. So
Yeah, and
it's
I
like
think that
it
that
makes
plays a part.
it's the most frustrating combination for us as diehard fans.
It's a terrible combination, but I think the more disheartening part is I I think if you take away the mental aspect, there's still so many non-golf swing related things that he lets get in the way, such as course management and decision making. That
I think it's overplayed a little bit. I think like
I don't think it is at all.
maybe one instance here or there. I do think I think a lot of course management blame gets wrongfully placed when it might be a mechanical or technical error that we just don't notice. Um, that would be my 2 cents on that. I don't think they make too many technical errors, um, but the mental hurdle thing, because it was literally like the number was -5 every single time he got to -5 on Thursday, on Friday, on Saturday. His game flipped
It's pretty
180 to
impeccable.
disaster. It was impeccable. Yeah, like that's like
Another reason why I'm crossing him off for the Masters and not necessarily him winning a tournament this year is the more I'm starting to notice, the more I'm starting to get more discouraged by his inability to hit non-stock shots from 140 to 190. I think that
that's been the case for 8 years now.
it has, and it is why he's struggled, I think, in terms of getting into deep contention at majors. He really hasn't. He's only been in deep contention at since 2017 three times, I'd say, maybe
In
at
majors
majors.
since 2017,
Yeah,
no,
so
it's been more than that. It's been
Masters 2018.
Open 2018, and then Masters 21.
I
Eh.
wouldn't say 21 was deep contention.
Mm, yeah, you're probably right.
And then the
It
Open.
was on
So
Saturday. Like, it wasn't on Sunday. No, it wasn't deep
I,
contention on
another
Sunday.
reason why I think it's so discouraging is it's incredible how he's able to hit non-stock shots only in Britain and Scotland. Like he
Yeah,
can completely craft golf shots at the Open every year on demand, and it's a treat to watch. And then
won't
he
do it in
comes back to
America.
the States, and it's just non-existent. He only hits stock shots and takes 20 feet long, 20 feet short, which is not necessarily the end of the world, but that's just you just don't win at Augusta like that. Like Scotty will
Uh,
hold off, and Rory has chokes, choke fold swings in his bag. Like Spieth never grips down. He never, and anytime he tries to take something off to get a number, it always ends up short right.
yeah, just like
So
gets
it's
poofy
troublesome.
into the wind, gets high poofy into the wind. It's like not even a doubt. He's turning around halfway through the ball being in the air. And it's like one of the more pathetic strikes you've seen on a golf course in a long time. I'll close off the speed discussion with this. I would be shocked, like capital S shocked if he doesn't play well. I think there's a pretty good chance he's in deep contention. He won't win. Like I don't think he will win if he gets in contention. But I think you're saying that he can't get into deep contention. I think there's a good chance that
I'm
Augusta is
not
his
saying he
first
can't
time.
get into deep contention. I'd say I'd be shocked if he does. I'm saying he can't
It,
win.
yeah, I don't think he can win
He
either. But
can get into deep contention, but
I would be far from shocked if he gets into deep contention. I think there's a good chance he's in deep contention at the Masters, and then you'll see one of the epic collapses.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, we can end it there because it was an epic collapse this week and on many different days. But
yeah.
I,
One other
I,
person I want to talk about this week, and then we can kind of go into the event from different angles. That event being the Masters, Xander Schauffele. I think us two, Elise as well, um, kind of like had a semi epiphany because we did our top three Masters contenders last week, I believe, and neither of us mentioned Xander. And I think like 30 minutes after we finished recording, we were both like, "Oh, Xander could be number one on that list of ours." Um, I played a great first 2 days at the Valspar. Two events in a row where he's played great the first 2 days. He's played a great Sunday, but the Saturday moving day, he's been pretty bad. So that kind of puts my pause a little bit on Xander. I still think he's going to play very well. I feel a little worse about his winning chances um, now than I did before the Valspar. What are your thoughts on Xander? I can't hear you. Apologies for the technical difficulties. Few other quick guys I'll touch on before I hear Bob's voice. Cantlay made a nice reappearance into the limelight this week. Oh, you're back. Cantlay will
I,
not be winning the Masters, though.
no, Cantley's not a major winner. I've crossed Cantley off winning a major in his career over the last two,
I
three
agree.
years.
I agree.
But Xander, he's a real threat for the field because again, there's no clear best player going into the Masters, and
Well, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
regardless, I don't think there's a clear best player going into the Masters, but um, I think this is one where it's up for grabs, and I think that's a very dangerous spot for Xander to be in playing well.
Yes. Do you share a similar concern as I do with the Saturday thing he's shown in the last 2 weeks?
Um,
'Cause it's been great play, terrible, great play. 2 weeks in a row, Thursday through
no,
Sunday.
I'm not really
No?
that worried.
Okay. Might be getting the rust out, which I
Yeah.
I I would I would be open to that possibility being true. I think he's gonna play very well. I just Elise is kind of harping on this point. She doesn't think that he will get over the hump. Um, I'm not 100% there. Um,
I mean, I'm not
you know,
100% saying he's going to win. I'm just saying it's a, it's
no,
it's a
no, well,
dangerous spot for Xander.
yes, no, I think we're all in agreement that Xander's a big threat to win this Masters. You said there's not one clear best player in the world coming into this event. I pushed back because I would just throw out the name who we have not talked about much here on our TikTok, but we've begun ramping up. Potential new friend of the program. Um, Bryson DeChambeau has won
Ooh,
two live
yeah.
events in a row. He has played the Masters 2 consecutive years phenomenally Thursday through Saturday. He has not figured out Sunday at Augusta yet. It
Okay,
seems as
let
if it's
me
going to. Okay, go ahead.
let me push back on saying that when I said clear best player, I more meant the proven track record
Yeah.
thing because you can't really count live as the same as winning a tournament in the players or winning three tournaments on tour.
No, it's
Um,
completely. I'm not
I
relating
do
this.
think Bryson's the best player in the world right now. And I will say he's my pick to win the Masters as of today. But I don't think you can say clear best player fits the
Not the
um
mold of the last four
fits
years.
the mold
Definitely not.
of the guaranteed champion.
I would agree.
Um, just because he's not on tour, and
I would.
not that I'm saying Live isn't a very legit pro Patriot tour, but it's tough to distinguish at times.
I mean, honestly, the two best players in the world right now might be on live. John Rahm lost in a playoff to Bryson this week. He looks great as he always does. I
I'd
feel better
love to
about.
see Live dominate the Masters. That would be awesome.
Um, I wouldn't. It would be very fun if both Bryson and Rom are deep into contention. I really hope Rom's in contention. We haven't seen him in contention outside for a cup of coffee at the PGA Championship on like holes 8 through 12 last year.
That was pretty
Um,
chills.
yeah, but he was there for an hour. We got an hour of contention, John Rahm in majors over the past his entire live tenure. Do you? Because I think Rahm is playing more consistent than Bryson. Bryson, because Rahm's been playing like this for a year now. Bryson is more so in the past month. Rahm has a higher floor than Bryson, undeniably. He has a better track record at Bryson over a longer period of time at Augusta. But I can't get out of my mind how much of, I don't want to say loser, but like I'll say like maybe capital or lowercase L loser John Rahm has been in majors since joining Live. I know you just said Bryson's going to be your pick at the Masters as of today. Do you feel confident in saying he's going to play better than Rahm? Do you like John Rahm's chances at the Masters at all? Because I put him fifth in my power rankings I just put
I
out.
mean, I always like John Rahm's chances at it's just Rahm has a level that not many people have. So yes, I agree. He's been a loser. I mean, I think it's a pretty average case loser since joining
Fair.
Live. I mean, he's completely underperformed since joining Live. It's not like he's been playing bad. He had that top 10 streak on Live. He didn't not finish top 10 until like 2 years into his tenure, I'm pretty sure.
With a
So,
T11.
yeah. So it's not like he was ever playing bad. And he's had an hour of contention since joining Live at majors for the most part. So, yeah, that worries me, but that doesn't mean that he's not very scary. I wouldn't be shocked if Rom uh, takes down the field in 2 weeks at all.
No, I wouldn't either. I do think this is going to be. It's been said by a lot of people that this is going to be the year that John Rahm reasserts himself in majors. It's been said in 2024. It's been said in 2025. I do feel the best about it this year, just because he did have it. He showed a small step, albeit last year. I feel like he's playing even better now. He's closed. He's closed the gap on Scotty. Scotty's really closed the gap for him. But he is number 2 on data golf by apparently like a decently wide margin over
Who,
Rory,
Rom?
which yeah, Rom over Rory is over a third of a shot,
Wow,
which is a decent chunk
that's
for
interesting.
strokes gained.
Hmm.
Yeah. I believe we're in the same boat. I put on my master power rankings I put out this week. I had Rory, I think sixth, and that was kind of like obligatory. Like you're the defending champ, you're the number 3 player in the world. I have to put you somewhere near here, but I feel I could like leave Rory out of my top 10. I don't believe he's going to contend at the Masters this year, just
Yeah, I don't
because
think he will either.
the
I think there will
injury.
also just be so much that week going on for him.
Exactly, that's my point. It's the injury. Uh, his one tournament from the Players to the Masters was TGL, and they lost as the number 1 seed. Can't lose as number 1 seed in the playoffs in the first
Yeah.
round. Can't happen.
Well, Boston's a city of losers.
Where are you from?
I'm not from Boston.
40 minutes west.
45 without traffic.
Thank you. But yeah, no, I agree. It's just like I think Rory's an emotional guy, maybe
Yeah,
too
yeah, he is.
maybe too emotional, as you would probably say. Sentimental, enjoyer, appreciator of history, the Champions Dinner, the hoopla, coming back on property maybe a little early, wearing the green jacket. I think he's going to be first or whatever on the press conference schedule. There's going to be a lot of adoring Rory, and I think he's going to adore himself. But
I agree.
I don't think he's going to adore his golf play in the 2026 Masters.
Yeah, I
I think
agree.
it's gonna be it could be like a T33 from Rory, quite honestly.
Yeah, it could. I could see I could see a lot of different weeks from Rory besides top five. I could see him T7, T8. not really in contention, but as a good final round, one of those Rory weeks.
Yeah.
But I don't see contention from Rory. I
I'm a
think
Rory stan. I feel like I've been on when he's going to play well at majors. This is not one of those times.
there's someone I would like to talk about as well, and I'll preface this by saying I don't think he'll play great at Augusta. I think he'll play very solid. I think he will play very solid at least two of the four majors this year. I don't think this is his year, but I'm be shocked if next year is not. And that is Brooks because I think he needs. I think he's this weekend showed me that he has a very good golf swing in the bag. That is, he he's a little rusty when it comes to the PGA Tour. I think. I think it's a
He's
different setting. He hasn't been there in a while, and I don't think he's just going to come out and win a major this year. But I think being back on tour, he's found a new motivation, and if he can stay healthy, I'd be shocked if he isn't in deep, deep contention in a major next year.
See, I think he could be in deep, deep contention at a major this year. I don't think it's going to be the Masters, like the first one back, but
I mean,
2017
Shinnecock
Open.
could be insane.
Yeah, Shinnecock. I didn't even realize that. I was more so thinking Birkdale. He was T4, I believe, in 2017 at Birkdale. Um, but yeah, no, I agree with the first major back is not going to be his major tournament. We could eat our words on that tremendously. The thing that was most shocking to me with Brooks was, and like honestly, this is the best way I can say it, the amount of Jay Spieth esque exits I saw from Brooks on the weekend.
Yeah.
On a hole by hole basis, there were some whole like terrible bogeys. I think it was Saturday. He was -3 through 9, making the turn 3 back, losers ahead of him. By the
To
way,
be fair, basically everyone had hilarious exits besides
fair.
like two players. Like there were so many people there,
Well, yeah, no, but like Brent
and I
Snedeker and Sungjae Im exiting is different than Brooks Koepka exiting.
correct, but I also think like they all kind of exit in the same way. And I'll say that it could have been because of this. I'll say that it could have been because of this. I think that the golf course on the weekend was a little stupid, and I enjoyed it.
Ooh.
I enjoyed it, but I think that it was for someone who hasn't been in contention on tour for a while and been kind of the front runner, like when like not the front runner, but when Kepka was going into the weekend, he thought he was the favorite to win the tournament. Definitely.
Yeah, and
So
entering the week.
yeah, so I think that there wasn't any life to the greens. They were dead, which was
Great,
chills,
great test.
which was chills. And the wind, you just had to be it was just carnage. Like it's not
What are you
that.
talking about with wind being carnage? I don't think it was blowing them up 10 miles an hour.
Oh, it was blowing Sunday.
No, no, no. Incorrect.
It was
Wrong.
absolutely blowing.
Maybe like a gust here or there of like 12. The wind was a non-factor all
That
week.
that 11th hole,
You watched too much Jay Spieth golf if you thought the wind was a factor. It was
maybe I
really
did. That's also
non-existent.
very possible. But I remember the wind definitely playing a factor
I
on
don't think
Sunday.
so.
Um, but yeah, I thought the course was a little stupid. I thought the 16th hole um got a little stupid, which was chills
How?
because well, just like if you missed the fairway, you either got like if you missed the fairway inside the tree line, you either got completely screwed or you were completely fine with the lie.
Fair. But like I
So
thought, I mean, like you
don't get
just
me
got
wrong, I had no
fair.
problem with it. I thought it was a very enjoyable tournament to watch.
I
And
came
it this
away.
should happen more.
No, yeah, no. But you're saying it was kind of like it was a little goofy. It was a little so bad it was good. I came away. We didn't talk about the course. This can be our course segment of the Valspar. little back and forth. I came away more happy, more enthralled with the course than I was going into the week, which where I said it was a borderline top 10 course. I think it's pretty firmly a top 10 PGA Tour course now. The firmness of the greens is phenomenal. A minus 11 winner with no wind, honestly, for wind standards in golf. I mean, it's always going to be there. It was not a story of the tournament. Um, just the amount of like, there's more elevation change in that course for Florida. Like the fifth hole,
Definitely.
that second shot of like a 50-foot drop is insane. Probably the biggest hill in the state of Florida. Um, the double dog legs on that course. It's just so quirky. It's visually quirky. Like I love golf courses that have a visual aspect that have zero bearing on how it's going to affect your golf shot other than you mentally before actually hitting the golf
That's a
shot.
good take. I agree with that.
So I just really enjoy it. I like the par threes being pretty far downhill. Like I love a good par three where it's longer, but it plays much shorter than it actually is in the scorecard because you have to land it at the front of the green, let it run on a firm green, and when it's 30 feet downhill. I think there's two of those par threes in this golf course. I believe it's 15 and 8 are the holes. Love a good par three like that. 16 is just one of the more stupidly hard holes on the PGA Tour. Just got to hit some golf shots. 18 is an underrated finishing hole. Really tight fairway to hit there.
I don't.
So I just really enjoy the golf course. I came away. It's definitively top 10.
Oh, definitely. I think this golf course is a very fun test. I think when I said the course was stupid, I just said it was stupid that the greens died. I think it was. I mean, but again, we've been very open that we enjoy the greens not being alive. So,
There's not
um,
one thing I want more in golf this year than the greens to die at such an epic level at Shinnecock.
I know it's really well
Like
said.
I want Shinnecock greens to die
Yeah,
so badly.
yeah, yeah. It would be cinema. It really would.
It really
So
would be.
I think it's pretty clear to me now that I think 16 is probably the hardest tee shot on tour.
16 at Valspar and then 18 at Players are probably the two hardest. Yeah. It's like the same hole, but just like one you have to hit a draw or one you have to hit a fade.
Yeah.
Or like one favors a fade, one favors draw.
The only reason why I'll give it to 16 at Valspar is because you can't like you can hit a safe shot on 16 at 18 and it's a much better position than hitting a safe shot on 16.
I don't know. Like, yeah, no, yeah, because if you're in the I think what you're trying to say is you have much more availability when you're in the pine straw of the trees at 18 of sawgrass. Like you can run up a shot at the fairways. There's no running up a shot at 16 at Valspar.
No.
Like you could get lucky with a clean, like a trample down lie and hit an aerial shot on the green, but like
Yeah, and
that's
if you hit
very few
one
and far
really
between.
left, you're almost guaranteed to have like a full iron in
Yeah, you
for
have
your
a hard
third
pitch
shot.
out. You have a
Yeah.
hard. That's what Speed had on. I think the second round it was.
Yeah.
Like he
So
topped his. Yeah, it's yeah. No, it's a.
yeah, definitely
It's a really good
definitively
course.
top 10. Great golf course. Really, really enjoyable watch, besides the fact that we didn't have a rooting interest for most of the
Yeah,
Sunday.
the Grand Slam died. It died in pretty devastating fashion as there were plenty of chances for entrances into the golf tournament. Brooks Koepka and Corey Connors, most notably, and the identical bogeys
It
these
was
guys
really
made on
incredible.
11, the easiest hole on the golf course from the middle of the fairway, just to just shank the shot, both the shots into a tree, 40
It
yards
was
short of the green.
it was really laughable.
Yeah, back to back. I think it was back to back groups. So that
Yeah.
was really mad. That was the end of the Grand Slam. Um, like Rory, it won't take, or unlike Rory, it won't take us 14 years, 11 years, whatever it was, to complete it. It will happen.
It will. It's well
It
said.
will. It will. We can touch on a few other guys for the Masters before we head out of here. Um, you can take some time to think of a name that you want to discuss. You want to discuss. I brought up Minwoo Lee yesterday. He's playing in the Houston Open this week. He's the favorite with Scott Scheffler withdrawing. Oh, we should probably talk about Scotty. We haven't talked Scotty at all at the Masters. We can put Minwoo on the standby. I am very concerned about Scotty going into this Masters. I thought it was a necessity that he played well at this Houston Open um, to have a chance to win the Masters. Honestly, now that he's withdrawn, it's not an injury concern. He's having a second kid, so nothing to be concerned about there. But it just like the terrible form, which for Scotty's not terrible, but it got slightly worse every single week after his win at the Amex. It really, outside of two epic Sunday final rounds, it was non-competitive golf for a month and a half, which we have not seen in so long for Scotty Scheffler. The driving is a disgrace, which it's a good thing you can escape some driving at Augusta. The irons are better. They're not Scotty Scheffler-esque. I don't know. I really don't see a path to Scotty Scheffler winning. I'm gonna damn near guarantee that Scotty Scheffler will not win the Masters. The plus 400 favorite will not win the Masters as a guarantee.
Yeah, he's just not playing well to be that guy who wins that from those odds. Which I think is fun. I'm looking forward to this Masters because I really don't think it'll be a runaway. So
We better get an epic Sunday.
yeah, we deserve it, especially
Like,
after last year's travesty.
well, last year was a triumph of the human spirit, but last year was a blowout from holes 8 to. I mean, like there was a good portion in the final four holes was where it was really close, but that was a close finish where one guy had a massive lead and choked it. I want it to be an 18-hole horse race of 4 or 5 guys just jockeying for position the entire way, and it's going to be a photo finish on 18. Like I want like a Charles Schwartzel Masters, preferably a more enjoyable winner than Charles Schwartzel. No disrespect to the Southern Guard star, um, like an Adam Scott Masters. I'd take a duel. We haven't seen like a huge duel in a long time. Or no, the Rory Bryson duel was the last duel we've seen. I'd take a duel, um, but it needs to be an epic Sunday.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I'd agree.
Before we mentioned Scotty, I was talking about Minwoo. Do you like Minwoo's chances at all? His game really does fit Augusta perfectly if he was able to put it all together.
I just don't see Minwoo being a Masters champion at the end of the year. I'd be pretty shocked if that happens.
Well, I'm sure Augusta does not want to see Minwoo as an Augusta champion.
Probably not. No.
They probably think it's a disgrace to the sport.
Could play well, but no, I don't foresee him winning.
I do think Minwoo is gonna. I don't want to say he's gonna win a major in his career, but I think he really could.
He
Like
could, but
he's taken a big step this year. He's taken a big leap of kind of manufacturing his high end play into consistent results, which is something I did not think we would see from Minwoo this quickly.
yeah, that's fair. That's definitely fair. I still don't think that's. I don't see that though. I really don't. Not at the Masters.
Is there any other big names that we want to discuss? Any big names that you want to see anything from 2 weeks away from Masters Week?
Not that I can think of. Um I'd like to see some good play from Spieth at the Valero so I can enjoy my Masters week. Because if he doesn't play well at the Valero, he could spiral out at the Masters.
I disagree. I don't think there's a path to him playing poorly at Valero. I don't think there's a path to him playing poorly at the Masters. I think like the floor for both events is like T28.
Yeah. I mean,
But
that's fair. But
the ceiling could be
yeah,
T12.
I guess T28 would be a pretty disastrous finish though for Spieth at the Masters.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be pretty disheartened if that were to happen.
We can do. I'll just go over some final rapid fire takes. So we're still going to do some more Augusta preview as we get closer. But Tommy Fleetwood, I think I picked him to win this event the first time we did our early Masters winners on here. He's not going to win the Masters. Very disheartened by Tommy Fleetwood's performance this season.
He's had a brutal season, man.
I mean, he had the back door at the Players. It was like the most non-competitive top 8 you've ever seen. Apparently, I mean, he had 2 more uncompetitive top 10s at the Genesis and Pebble. I mean, so he's top 10, the 3 biggest events we've played so far on the PGA Tour this season, I guess. But for somebody who was number 3 in data golf coming into this year, for somebody that everybody's harped on, you have to win more golf tournaments. You finally do win a golf tournament on the PGA Tour. You win a European event right after that in the fall, and you just go back to your usual bullshit of faking top 10s, faking top 8s at big events. No thanks.
Yeah, I agree. I'm interested to see what Fleetwood at the Masters looks like because I could see it being a pretty poor week for him.
I think it'll be a T6 where he has 0.0% chance of winning the event for 72 holes.
I don't know. Honestly, the more I talk about it, I really don't know how this Masters is going to play out at all.
No.
The only thing I'm convinced is basically a lock is I don't think there's a path to Bryson not at least being part of the story.
I'm going to go over some locks, I think, for the Masters. I think that's a cool final segment for tonight's show. These are my locks for the Masters. Scotty Scheffler is not going to win the event. Jordan Spieth will top 15 at the Masters.
It's not a lock. It's just not a lock. It's not a lock. He will top 30.
It's a lock. No, I'm being a little frisky with these locks. I just said Scotty Scheffler is not going to win the Masters as a lock. So stay with me. Rory McIlroy will not finish top 5 at the Masters. Justin Thomas will finish.
We'll have an early Saturday morning tee time.
It's well said. Bryson DeChambeau, as you said, will be a part of the story. Patrick Cantlay will be a non-factor. What's another lock I have? Cam Young will not win the event. He could play very well, though. Ludwig Gobert will play very well at the Masters. Sepp Straka will miss the cut.
Xander will definitely top 10.
You get signs of life from John Spawn.
No.
A great man. That I shouldn't put that in the lock category. I should put that in the wants.
Spawn could miss the cut.
Yeah, Spawn hilariously could miss the cut. Mickelson will make the cut. And one final lock, Tiger will play. Yeah.
I mean, it would be laughable if he announces it tonight.
It could be. I think he's
he's
entered his showman portion of his career.
Yeah, it's fair.
I really hope Tiger plays so we can get a Phil Tiger matchup on the sports books and take
that would be a winning wager for us.
Yeah. Death taxes, Mickelson beating Woods at the late stage career majors, death taxes, and Jordan Spieth beating Justin Thomas in majors.
Yep. Well said.
Well said.
It's a good place to end it.
It is a good place to end it. We're not going to be live tomorrow. We're just going to release
we won't be live video. Tomorrow. No, we won't be live tomorrow. It'll be just a regular video and post.
Yep. Outrights for the Houston, Texas Open. It's not the Texas Open. It's the Houston Open. I believe our card is finalized, and you're going to do some odd shopping tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a later tonight kind of thing. I have a lot of homework I have to do too, so could be a late. It could be a late night finalization, but
Card will be out tomorrow. We'll discuss it on the channel tomorrow. I don't know how much Houston Open I'm gonna watch this week. College basketball's on.
yeah, I'll watch Sunday when we have an inevitable outright in contention.
I'll probably watch Thursday and Sunday. I don't see much Friday and Saturday watching in my future.
Yeah, it's well said.
Yeah,
All
but like
right, well,
inevitably, yeah,
what'd you say?
inevitably, if we have, I feel like I'm always in the position where I don't want to watch golf on Saturdays, and when we do have an outright deeply in contention, I find myself watching Saturday golf.
Yeah, it's well said.
Yeah. All right.
All right,
Good night to all.
good night.